This chapter is too long for YouTube, so I had to split it up into two segments. This is the second.
At this point, I'm optimistic that we've got all the tools we need to install Linux on this machine. We've got the Linux ISO image itself, and we've got the tool to burn that to a disk that we'll use to install it. Both of those were stored on my computer, drive C temp, so I'm going to go look at those. My computer came up from Start. I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to double click on local disk C, and then we know we put them in temp. Here's this list that says temp. I'm clicking there twice, and here we are. The PcLinuxOs should be in here someplace, and the ISO recorder should be in here someplace. First, I need the ISO recorder. We're going to need that first, so I'm going to go in there and double click on its installer. We can activate this installer like any other program by browsing to it and then double clicking on its icon right here. Click, click. Welcome to the ISO Recorder Setup Wizard. The installer will guide you through the steps required to install ISO Recorder on your computer. Warning! This program is protected. We can't duplicate or distribute it without authorization. I'm fine with that, so I'm going to click Next. It says there's a license agreement. I'm going to take a minute and read that. Actually, I'm already familiar with it, and I know I'm okay with it, so I'm going to click I agree, and Next. The installer will install ISO Recorder to the following folder. It suggests C:" program files, Alex Feynman ISO Recorder, and I'm happy for that, so I'm going to click Next. I'm going to actually allow everybody on this machine to do this, and I'm going to click Next. The installer is ready to install ISO Recorder on your computer. Click Next to start the installation. There's a button labeled Next. This is all making good sense. I'm clicking Next. ISO Recorder is being installed. Please wait. Wow, that was fast. Installation complete. ISO Recorder has been successfully installed. Choose Close to exit. Clicking Close. That was too easy. I think we're even done with the install kit, so I'm closing that, and we're now at a nice, clean desktop again, just the way I like to end up a little project. That was painless, wasn't it, and fast. We've installed ISO Recorder. I'll check in the usual way to see if it shows up in my Start menu by clicking on Start, Programs, and I'm looking for it. Usually it would be right here, but there's nothing here. That might mean it's not, that probably means it's not a program in the usual sense. It's probably an automated utility that just welds itself into Windows and makes Windows smarter. Accordingly, I'm going to take a look at the ISO file and see if Windows now just knows how to handle it. I hope so. That would be a cool way for ISO Recorder to solve my problem here. Any Windows machine that knows how to handle ISO files, I should be able to just browse into the machine to take a look at that file. So to do that, I'm going to go to Start, and then clicking on My Computer. And we know we put that file on drive C, so I double-click here. And we know we put it in Temp, double-clicking here. And we know we put it under PcLinuxOs. So I'm double-clicking here. And the name of that file right there is the right thing. That is the image of the CD-ROM I want to create to be able to install PcLinuxOs. I'm going to double click on that, and we'll see Windows does now know how to handle it using the new CD recording wizard. That's really cool. The computer I'm using for this has a CD-ROM reader and writer in drive D, but the CD recording wizard knows there's no media in it. I have not inserted a blank CD disk in the drive yet, so I guess I'd better do that. I'm going to open up that drive and insert a blank CD. I've opened my CD-ROM drive door, and I've got a blank CD here. I'm going to insert that, and we'll just see what happens up here. Cool. Within a few seconds, this frame indicates that I've got a blank, writable, usable CD, so it knows I've inserted that CD. I'm going to proceed then to burn this image file as we expected to a CD. Let's try just clicking Next and see what happens. Next. One click. It says recording, preparing, estimated time 3 seconds. That seems awfully fast. Recording. I can hear the CD-ROM drive spinning, but I don't see anything on this bar graph. Oh, there it is. The bar graph is advancing from left to right. It says 1%, 2%. Oh, looks like it's working. I'm going to pause the movie now, and we'll continue it after we get up near the end. Okay, it's been about a minute now, and the activity light on my CD-ROM drive has been flashing. I can see the bar graph at 97%, 99%, went all the way across now. It says recording. Now, closing disk. Estimated time 15 seconds. Looking down, I can still see the light flashing on my CD-ROM, or CD-RW drive, and I can hear it still spinning. Just stopped flashing. I hear it slowing down now. All right, operation has been completed. Click Finish to exit ISO recorder. That's cool. Oh, the door opened on my CD-ROM drive. I think we might have got our install disk made up. The door on my CD-ROM or CD-RW drive popped open as it completed writing that. So I'm removing this CD-ROM and I'll write a label on it. I think this should be the image of the PcLinuxOs 2008 Minime installer. I should be able to boot up from this disk and install PcLinuxOs. Here then is the CD that I burned after I labeled it with my trusty magic marker. The label says PcLinuxOs 2008 Minime Linux Live Installer Disk 1 of 1. Boot from this CD to test or install PcLinuxOs.